Hey everybody, ModelMan here with another update on the Jupiter 2. As a test, I wound up installing this command computer console there. It went pretty easy. There is a little bit of a notch in one of the sides, and I'm going to try and repair that in place. Well, I'm not going to try to, I am going to. I want to push that skill. And you can see the notch right there on the side. And there might be a little bit of a chip at the far end over there. But either way, I'll mask off everything around it, repaint that, and in place, and go from there. On this side, I dropped a couple tiny drops of super glue right at the base. Normally super glue will eat fiber optics alive, however, this is coated in with enamel paint, so the glue is sticking to the enamel and the fiber optic is safe. I was thinking I'd route these into the pipes right now, but then I figured I should get another one in here so I can do both of them at the same time, because I'm going to have to flip this back and forth to get things going. All of these fibers will reach everywhere, which is nice. I can't really do a good test fit on this, but all of these fibers seem to fit there. And then finally I still have to paint that guy over there. Something new is this board sitting right here. So yes, I am going to go for a 5th sequencer, and it looks like this is the only space left where I can put it easily. I could fit one over here, for example. Something like that, perhaps. However, I don't need to, so I'm not going to. Could possibly also... not really. Not really. Yeah, this is the only spot that this particular kind can go. And I am going to give another attempt at these boards here. One of them I'm pretty sure is definitely dead, however maybe I can re-jumper it around. One of the others doesn't seem to be getting any power, but I wasn't able to see what's going on at the time. And then the third one is possibly just messed up on solder. And then that little guy there is a prototype that Elliot sent me. And of course there are a couple pulsators going into this thing as well for the top deck right around the danger ball area. And speaking of the danger ball, I have to have some blinking white LEDs for that. Warm white preferably. If I have to go with cool white such as off of those, I will. And I guess essentially the way I'll be doing that is just jumping around to different sequencers where and when feasible and however possible. And getting back to this sequencer here, this is going to be a faster speed. So I've got all 4 the current sequences that are doing slow speeds for the freezer tube walls and the command consoles. Now I'm at least going to get 1 faster sequencer, if not 2, and even then I'll still plug things around and switch things up and try and get as many different blink rates out of this as I can. It seems that if I take one leg of an LED and jumper it to one sequencer, an LED on one sequencer, and jumper the other leg to another LED on a different sequencer, there can be some interesting effects that are going on. What else? I think that's about it for the moment. So I'm going to solder this a little later, and yeah. What I should probably do is get the procedure for installing that guy now that I kind of know how to do it, or at least how to go about it in a slightly more efficient way. So let me get to that. Probably the only tough thing about doing this is getting all the fiber in here at once. And it's just a matter of wiggling it back and forth until it all goes in. It gets there. And another very, very tight fit. but a fit nonetheless. And looking pretty nice, I'd say. So, with the fit confirmed, there are just 3 single drops. And all of this fiber will fit there too, I'm happy to see. The downside on this one is that there's a resistor dead center underneath where this has to go. I'm going to have to coat that in electrical tape, or I don't know if I could rewire this. Yeah, I can undo that. You know what? I'm just going to move that resistor around. Unsolder it and put maybe even a new one in. And here's what's different here. Just installing this tube at a slight angle, using some super glue and baking soda to fix it into relatively stable place, just to get all the fiber optics to fit into these tubes here, and it will be a good fit. I'm going to have to trim these down even further, so I'm very glad that I cut them the way that I did. The longer strands here are going to different sequencer set. These are going to be whites, blues, reds, and so on, whereas all of the small fibers here from all these sets are going to be just yellow. So the idea here is I might even throw a tube around this as well, just to help keep that sorted out. The idea here is that each section is going to be split amongst the 6 or 7 yellow LEDs, and that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to try to do it as evenly as I can. I don't know how they'll be grouped or what it's going to look like. It's pretty much random chance in that case. I could go and map every single one of them, but there's no need to. That'd be ridiculous. Going back and mapping all of these longer ones, because they're a lot fewer, that's definitely worth it. And that's one of the things that I'll be doing, because I have to assign all of these guys here to some colors as well. So once I get the fast flashers going in here, I think that'll definitely help things out. So let's see what is next. So this one didn't go quite as easily as the first one, and perhaps it's because the first one is slightly in the way that that's the case. But most of the fibers are attached here. I'm going to be in very deep disappointment if these fly out ever, for any reason whatsoever. but that is pretty flat and tight. And once I get the third console in there, I can glue everything up. There is an LED directly below these two here, and that one's going to be nearly impossible to put anything in for from the next one. Looks like maybe the way I would have to do this is to have all three in place and then do it by LED rather than per section into each tube as I just did. Let's flip this over and see what it looks like. Yeah, boy. It's looking pretty hot. How's the other one over there? Sweet. I can't wait to get the final one in there.